Looking at remuneration survey, how to carry out the remuneration survey in a systematic process of collecting and making judgments about the compensation paid by other similar industry, peer industries. For example, automotive industries means you look at all the automotive industries, banking sector, investment banking, oil and gas, different nature of the business as a industry wise. Surveys provide the data for translating policy into a pay levels and pay mix and the structures. It's giving you an idea of how the components, compensation benefits, the total rewards are being packaged for each level. Okay, that's what you have to figure out. So the purpose of the study is to adjust the pay levels in response to changing rates paid by the competitors. Then set the mix of pay forms related to that pay paid by the competitors. Then establish or price a pay structure. You need to come out with a pay structure. Analyze the pay related problems. Establish the labor cost of the products you incur, the actual cost before tax, after the tax, and the service market competitors, vice versa. So you look at the components like organization factors, which what is the state of your financial status? Are you making profit? What's a net margin? Productivity ratio and staff turnover. All that you're looking at the big organizational factors like turnover rate, the employee morale, motivation, leadership, all that. Then you are looking at the labor market. Availability of the skilled labor force or semi-skilled labor force, the nature of industry where we are in. And if not available here, where you are planning to source. And then you will have sourcing channels, labor market and the product market. So you need to select the market. The relevant labor market includes employers who compete with you. Bobtain has a competitors, Alsair, Almulla, and who else your competitors? All the Korean companies, Chinese companies. Now there are too many players in automotive segment. Now hybrid cars, are coming up. So you need to look at the employers whom you compete and the occupation or the skills level, similar skills and occupation they hold. For employees in the same geographic area with the same products or the services. Okay, this you need to determine, you need to determine your variables, what you are planning to look at. It all has to be apple to apple. Then you have to collect the data, organization data and total compensation data. Okay, you can also make a please make a note of this. 4 points are very important. It is not in your book. Actually, I'm going to tell you reciprocity. Okay, it is like a give and take. Some people, even I worked in banks for more than a decade. Banks, is governed by Central Bank of Kuwait, and they keep this confidential, data, very sensitive data. But at the same time, they try to give. It's a give and take. The more you give, the more you can get and get to know where you're standing. Understand? So organizations conducting the survey must be willing to share their wage information in exchange for the information they collect from the others. Understand? So I am giving some benchmark jobs, and I will also give indication that where the ranges are, so that the other players also giving. Then I can look at where I am standing. That is called reciprocity. Reciprocity, give and take. Okay. Then anonymity. When I give my data, in the consultant should not disclose whose data it is. He has to just talk about facts and figures. What is the data? Very important. So the information should be reported in a way that does not identify the wages of the individual or the organization. Very important. never should be disclosed. Is who's pay, which company pay. No, it's been masked. Okay. Then low cost. The method used to collect and analyze the data must be efficient and inexpensive. Some of the players, they ask exorbitant prices, 50,000, 60,000, way beyond your budget. You cannot go about doing that, So it has to be within your budget also, low cost. And timeliness, very important. Post-pandemic, so many things happen. And updated information is very important. The information must be current, especially in times of inflation or the pandemic which we had. All this major dramatic changes, whatever happened. We need to have a timely data. It's very important. Even if you have 1 or 2 years old data, you can age it also. That we'll cover it later. You can age. You can do the aging also. Okay, this is how you have to be thorough in all these 4 points which I talked about when you are moving for a company-sponsored surveys. When I was working for Alsa at Toyota Lexus, we hired a Hay Group from Dubai. They came to our premises. They stayed here for a week. We sponsored the survey for all the automotive companies. We have automotive union also, and we took the leadership. Okay, so we need to look at, while collecting the data, organization data in a total compensation data you need to look at, you are giving, and you have to check the accuracy of the job matches. As I told you before, the job title and the roles and responsibility has to match clearly. Job description should not have any ambiguity, clear cut, well-defined job description, so that you can compare with, one job to another job. Survey leveling now has to be proper, and check for anomalies, outliers. Does any company dominate? Do all the employers show similar patterns, or is there any outliers? That you need to first figure out. You have to make sure everything, every player is a level playing ground. It's very important. And then you carry on the data analysis. I'm just moving from here. Labor market we looked at, labor market, product market we looked at. Then you benchmark, carry out the benchmark market, select the market. Then you move on to data collection, and then we'll move one by one. You have to look at the job matching, roles and responsibility with the others' roles and responsibility. When survey data is aged, for example, you have the data which is 2 years old. You can do aging, movement in the market rates. You may consider movement in the market rates, adjust the outdated data, and you can also look at consumer price index, CPI, consumer price index, or we can say COLA, COLA, cost of living allowances. Okay, so these are elements you can accordingly you have to adjust. In other words, aging is the practice of adjusting outdated salary survey data and making it current. Okay, so if a job on a survey is similar but not identical to one another in the organization, the data can be weighted or leveled for a better match. Okay, if a job survey is similar but not identical to one organization to another organization, then you have to have leveled for a better match. Therefore, conduct a job analysis. As I told it all starts with the job analysis, and then you move on to the review job description. It's very important for job matching, and you need to thoroughly do this properly. Then some salary surveys do not provide a data for a specific geographic area, since the wage rates will vary by location, and organizations should factor in the geographic, any national salary survey data for the local or regional recruiting area for appropriate wage levels. Okay, So when I talk about this, I would like to give some additional information also. This is what that I want to go beyond this. Where you need to look at, first of all, why we are doing this exercise. So when your company having a attrition rate, very high, for example, it is beyond 10%, 10% and above, your resignation rate, voluntary resignation rate. Okay. In that case, it's giving an idea that there's something wrong with your, pay. People are not happy. This compensation also could be one of the reasons. There are many other reasons: supervisor, environment, work environment, recognition, many other things, and this also. So you look at this, and when this resignations are less, 5% or 4%, less in a company, no need to worry. And that is also giving a message that you are overpaying. You are overpaying. Okay. So when you are moving for this level, you need to first look at 3 levels of decisions you need to make. 3 wage level decisions. You can please make a note of this. In the development of the salary, sound wage and salary system, it requires, first of all, you get into, before this exercise, you need to make 3 major decisions. Okay. Each decision has to answer critical question regarding organization's compensation program. Okay. The first one is the wage level decision. That's what we are looking at, the wage level decision, whether my automotive company, it's, am I paying competitive enough in comparison with the other peer industry. That's called wage level decision. It's overall level of organization comparison. This decision answers a question: how much money do members of my organization receive related to people performing similar work in other organization? Okay, RT working for Siemens, and so you look at how much money does he paying for her employees in Siemens in comparison to ABB, Alstom, and other organizations. This is called wage level decision. Okay. Once you have problem in that, then you do this remuneration survey. This kind of survey you will carry out. Then another thing, second level is the wage structure decision. The pay awarded to different jobs within an organization. For example, in your company, you have job grade matrix. I will show you the example of how the job grade matrix works. Here you have all the departments: finance, okay, HR. Then you have marketing. Okay. Then you have production. Okay. Then you have sales team. All this department verticals. Different verticals are there. Then here you have grades: GM, AGM, DGM, AGM, senior manager, assistant manager, supervisor, officer. All the titles will be have. Okay, grades also. Respective grades also. Grade 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, up to 15, 20, like that, 20. So those grades are there. Okay, you have, for example, this each category: general manager, officer, each department group, they have people, and they are also having the same grade. Okay, but titles may be different. Okay, maybe your payroll officer. In finance, you may call accountant payable, accountant receivable, same grade. Okay, so you have to take the same structure, structure level. Okay, so you have to consider this actually wage structure. This is kind of wage structure, narrow band structure. You can call, or you can have broadband structure, narrow band structure. We'll look at later the grade structure. This structure, you look at whether the pay awarded to different jobs within the organization, is it equal? Okay. The decision answers the question, how much money is paid for one job related to other jobs in the same company? Am I paying the same level of pay in what is the department, finance, respect to HR, and also production and sales in the same level, or different? Is there any mismatch? You have to look at. That's called wage structure decision. Then the third level decision is individual wage decision. Okay, concerns individual incentives and merit pay. This decision answers the questions, how much money does an employee receive related to the money received by other employees who perform similar work? This is a $1 million question. It's called equity theory. I will take one exclusive session on all the theories. Okay, most of the theories, having the roots. That's we need to look at where it comes from, the idea. For example, personal equity theory. Equity theory is actually always, I tend to compare. I'm okay with my pay when I got interviewed properly. I was looking for a job desperate and I went through all the, hurdles and I got the job, I got the offer. I'm okay, happy. Then after join, I compare with others. And then problem comes, it's naturally, happens, right? So this is individual wage decisions, individual incentives. This decision answers the question, how much money does an employee receive related to the money received by other employees who perform similar jobs? After you join, you may get, your motivation may not be that much good, you may go down also. So in order to conclude what I was saying, three level of wage decision in example, these wage decisions illustrate a kind of wage comparison that the employee make when they evaluate the wages. For example, we look at accountants in a company. Okay, compare their wages with the wages of accountants in other organizations to see whether company A is higher or lower level of wages. You're looking at the accountant in Bobtain with the Alshire Group, Mercedes, Almulla, and other companies. Okay, industry, company to company. Then the accountants also compare the wages with the pay of bookkeepers, and in IT department, computer programmers, also the same grade, and other members of the company, in HR officer, like that, to learn whether the internal wage structures offer a higher pay to the jobs with the more responsibility and greater difficulty, relatively similar difficulty and also responsibility. Are they paid equal, or is there any mismatch? That you are looking at. Finally, the accountants discuss, they're going to the cafeteria, have a coffee, tea, and then they chat. They come to know, sometimes you have pay secrecy. Despite the policy, people discuss about it openly. Before they could join, they'll come to know everything. That's now the social media, all that, they come to know. So the accountants discuss their wages among themselves to determine whether each person's wage is the same or whether the difference in the wages are related to productivity, seniority, or the education, or something else. All this possible. Makes sense, right? Any questions so far I covered? This is very important. I covered, important topic. Okay, let's move on to the next one. An HR manager reviews widely published salary data to ensure that the company compensation is superior to regional competition. A potential outcome of this lead compensation philosophy is Sonal answered. Very good. Darren, Vinayak. Rest of them are waiting for others. A HR manager reviews widely published salary data. No, he buys some salary data to ensure the company compensation is superior to regional competition. That means he is paying more on top of the is on top of the game. He's paying more than their peer industry. So if he pays more, what is the potential outcome of this lead compensation? This is a question. Please think again and answer. He is paying more. For example, I'll explain so that I'll make you to think actually. Oh, B is the right answer, guys. B. Most of you got it. Okay. So other things being equal, okay, less likelihood to pay, less likelihood of play catch up. Okay. But he is paying more, more than the competitors. Improved ability to attract and retain scarce skill employees because he is paying superior to the regional competition. That's why he is able to attract and retain scarce skill employees is most likely. So this is the right answer. C, it says increased need for pay openness in the organization. Increased, nobody answered this also. Aarti answered. Aarti, why did you answer this? Increased need for pay openness in the organization. Because it's already, he's very transparent. He bought the survey, remuneration survey, and published survey is already openly available. And then he is going beyond that survey level, he's paying more than the what is required. Okay. D, fewer categories of non-exempt employees who will qualify for paid overtime. Few categories of non-exempt employees who will qualify for paid overtime. Non-exempt employees will qualify for paid overtime is quite natural. Fewer categories of non-exempt employees will qualify for paid overtime. This also doesn't make, it's not a right option because irrespective of whether you're paying more or less than the market, you bound to pay overtime for the categories. Okay. Non-exempt means people who are eligible for overtime, less than officer, mechanics, electrician, all the people are, overtime they are eligible, workers. Okay. So this condition doesn't apply, whether you are paying more than the market or below the market, you go by the grade and then you pay overtime everyone, according to their category, according to the what you agreed on initial contract. Okay, clear, right? We'll move on to the next one. This is a very important slide. Here we are looking at, after having done the remuneration survey before what we discussed, and then we are plotting that, the survey findings like a graph, here you are mentioning your grades, your company grades, like, you might have a grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, all the grades you are mentioning. And then here you have what's the salary or wage, dinar, what is the wage level you are paying. So an organization may choose to match the market and pay approximately the same wages and offer the benefit packages similar to that of other competition. The previous question we saw, the manager, HR manager, he looked at the published report and then he is going above the peer group. He's paying beyond superior compensation. Okay, but your company is not doing well. You like to save a cost, budget constraint. So you will, you are, despite knowing the fact, what is going on in the market, but you will offer the same wages only as per the market only. Okay, offer the benefit package similar to that the competition. That also possible, right? You will go exactly as per the market rate. I do not want to go up above or below, because you want to be just on that particular competitive, being competitive. Okay, some organizations try to, some of the companies, they try to lead the market, like the previous question what we saw. You all answered B. And they may recruit, retain, and most desirable talent from the labor pool by offering the higher salaries and are better benefits, because there are big players, big companies are here already. And this company just started, maybe a startup company, in order to attract people from big companies to join. They may offer something more, or you may have a huge project is on the pipeline. You are expecting some projects and your strategy is moving in particular direction. It's very important for you to gain, attract more people so that you can win, over the period. So in that case also, you will pay more. Okay, so it's in the context also. You look at the context. When using the salary survey data, leading the market typically equates to the 75th percentile. Here in this graph, you will see, the 75th percentile, P75, it's leading the market. Okay, and this is your actual data. Your employee, you put all the grades and the, in terms of their quick dinner, what they're getting. This is the actual graph, what you have, actual data. Okay, but when you have done your remuneration survey, the published data, that is showing the policy line. That is 50th percentile. It's here. This is a policy line. And some companies, they may not, despite knowing the fact, they may underpay because of various reasons, budget constraints and companies not doing well. They may go for 25th percentile also. Okay, clear? Trailing the market. Okay, so some organizations try to lead the market, that is the 75th percentile, and recruit and retain most desirable talent from the labor pool by offering the higher salaries and better benefits. When using salary data, leading the market typically equates to 75th percentile of the market, P70 percentile, 75th percentile. Other organizations deliberately, out of economic necessity or control labor cost, they may lag the market and establish their pay rates below those offered by other employers. Reduced labor rates may enable the organization to offset other higher costs, such as, there are many other costs involved, overhead liabilities like infrastructure, purchasing, distribution, sales expenses, maintenance cost, depreciation, all that, maintenance, AMC, many expenses you have. This is also one element, labor, manpower cost, but that should not pull you down. You have to strike a balance. So when using a salary survey data, lagging the market typically equates to the 25th percentile of the market. Any question on this? You understood the pay line, everything? This is, this is what in the markets paying, your actual data. When you want to go above 75th percentile, go below 25th percentile. Clear? Okay. And there are at times, you have your actual data grade, grades are there, grade 1, the minimum salary, mid salary, and maximum salary. And the grade 2, is starting from here. That is the mid of the grade 1. It's a starting point of the grade 2, mid and then maximum. Up to here, there is a grade overlapping. This area is, both are getting the same pay. Don't you agree? It's possible, quite possible. There are different grades, but up to this level, the grade overlapping is possible. Then when you are paying, for example, the grade 2, this is a minimum wage. Okay, and this is a mid-level wage, and this is a maximum wage. For example, it's a 250 KD. Okay, and here 300 KD. Okay, and then here you have 400 KD. Okay, so some people, for example, automotive company like Bobtain, they may one of the employee getting 500 KD, and he is here 500 KD. Okay, he should not be there. Okay, he is here. This grade is here, but he is paid this much. Why? It's called red circle. How do you determine the red circle? By compa ratio. Compa ratio will give you an idea of whether the person is going above the range. This is a range, right? Pay range, they will say. Range spread. For their grade 2, the 20% you go here and 20% here, the range spread. And this guy's salary is going beyond. How do you calculate? Pay divided by midpoint. So here, what is the pay? Can you calculate, please? What is pay here? This guy is getting 500 KD. What is the midpoint? Someone say midpoint.
It's 300 KD.
MashaAllah. Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah. So calculate. Multiply by 100.
Ratio is 2.5.
Pay divided by midpoint multiplied by 100. What's the rate you are getting?
2.5.
No.
166.
166, right? Percentage.
Yeah.
So that means, when you please carefully listen to me. When the compa ratio is giving you idea. Please let me clarify with Sonalji. Sonal, the pay is actually, 500 KD. 500 divided by 300. Okay, multiplied by 100. 166 you are getting,
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. So, after getting this 166, it is indicating it is going beyond the range, that's why it's called red circle. So when you look at the compensation, the range spread, it can be, you can have the flexibility. For example, up to 100%, 100, okay? And you can go, up to 120, okay?
Okay.
120, 100 to 120, you can have. People can, go beyond the range, up to 120. And if they go like in this scenario, 166, that is way beyond, they are getting this level, this year, this guy is here, and 100 is here. So it is out of the, okay. Some of the people in this grade, grade 2, some of the people, what's the starting salary I told you? 250, right? 250 KD, right? Some of the people are getting 200 KD, possible. One guy is getting 200 KD because he is a fresh guy, but he's very smart, he is presentable and his convincing power, all that. He can be trained, groomed. So I fix the base salary very less. so possible. And this guy is below the range. This is called blue circle, or you can call green circle. This is also possible. Can you calculate and tell me what is the comp ratio? Quickly. This is a class. Really, I'm very satisfied. Everyone is participating and full attention span. Everyone is with me, and really, I'm also enjoying. I hope all of you are, equally grasping the difficult concepts. Like, for example, this blue circle or green circle employee. What is the comp ratio? Sonalji, try. I don't want to pick up anyone. Just if someone can tell me, please. Volunteer.
Sir, I'm trying to understand, like the one in grade 2, is he getting 200 KD as a low
Yes.
point for him?
Yeah, 200 KD only is getting. Grade 2.
Okay, from the midpoint of the
60.
grade 2, correct? Which is 300.
Yeah, midpoint is 300. Yeah,
divided by
300. Yeah.
200.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so 66.
Correct. Yeah, 66. Exactly. Very good. 66 means he is here, he is green circle.
He's under.
Yeah, 66, is coming here. He is coming here, he has to be here in the 100, but that's the correct upper, but he is going way below, below 60.
Underpaid.
Underpay. Yeah. So it's called, the concept is called green circle or blue circle employee. Okay. Now we'll look at again. I will again reinforce later point. Now we'll move on to the next one. And executive compensation. We are looking at the executive level pay. We'd like to have a break. We are going beyond 1 hour. Would you like to have a break, or we'll continue? Okay, continue. We'll continue. And executive compensation. You have small
I don't
break,
mind.
2 minutes? Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's a difficult
mini break.
concept. You need a break, I think.
Yeah, we need some break.
Yeah, break up, please. Carry on. I'll stop the recording. Recording will be shared with you. Darren, try to manage. It's what to do. We have to manage. An executive compensation plan will emphasize which of the following factors. Most of the time, okay, let's see the answer. MashaAllah, everyone got it right. D is the right answer. Yeah. So balance the risk and the incentives, very good. All of you. Okay. So, an executive compensation plan will emphasize which are the following factors, balance the risk and the incentives. Executive compensation plan should be easy to administer, be considered fair, support the organization goals, and balance the risk with the incentives. Some of the executives are getting, big payments, like, their salary itself, it will be 20,000 KD, 10,000, 30,000, for a CEO level. That's what we are looking at, top level management. So their package will be different, So the components of the executive pay package, the base salary will be there. That is short-term, annual incentives. Then they may get bonuses. Then they may get long-term incentives and capital appreciation plans, like stock option plans, executive benefits, all that they may get packaged together. They may also get perquisites. Base salary is usually what is guaranteed, base pay we call. While other forms of compensation are at risk, variable pay. If they perform certain significantly well or achieve some project, got some major income, then they'll be rewarded, but it's a variable pay at risk, depend on the performance factors. Okay, although formalized job evaluation skills play an occasional role in determining the executive pay, other sources are much more important. Particularly important is the opinion of the base pay, fixing the pay and the other perks and benefits. It is not a one-man show. It is a remuneration committee will be there. And there is a remuneration committee will be formed by the board members, and they decide. Composed usually of company's board of directors will be there, or the subset of the board, and representatives from the audit, HR, finance, all the key people will be present in their committee. So bonuses or annual incentives often play a major role in executive compensation. Annual incentives. These are all primarily designed to motivate the better performance. We need to keep them motivated. Retention, very important, because we cannot afford to lose the top players, people who are at leadership level. So there's a Tax Act in 1993. They publicly, they brought the Tax Act in US. Publicly held company may not deduct a corporate tax preparation more than 1 million per year for remuneration paid for a single covered employee. Okay, typically the CEO and other 4 other highest paid employees. Don't worry about this legality, because it's not applicable, for the exam point of view, and also it's just of information. Okay, so performance-based compensation, such as bonuses, that is prevalent. Everywhere we are giving bonuses. We in Bubian Bank we used to give 15% of the annual pay, as a mandatory, and then performance-based bonus also. 2 bonuses the employees get. Okay, so equity-based compensation, as narrowly defined by the Act, is not subject to 1 million deduction limit. So it's changed. Then we have long-term incentives and capital appreciation plans. You might have a stock options, IPOs, incentive stock options, purchase of stocks, at a stipulated price less than the market price, or you may, make it attractive for the people to buy from you, executives to buy from you, the market price. Conforming to internal revenue code, it allows, stock what is being sold, and then the tax coverage also is there, advantage. Then non-qualified stock options, like purchase of stock at a stipulated price, you determine the price, not conforming to the internal revenue code, restrictions on the ability to publicly traded company to make loans to offers under the Sarbanes-Oxley Act 2002. Okay, that's the Act, Sarbanes-Oxley Act 2002, and the accounting consequences of discounted stock sales may limit the desirability and flexibility of these arrangements. Don't worry about this legal aspect. It's only applicable for US. Okay. Then we have phantom stock. Phantom stock plans are cash award plans determined by the increase in the stock price at a fixed date. Okay. You may, for example, you may give a bonus for example, Mohammed, you can take this number of stocks at the fixed rate. Okay. But you cannot exercise, sell or buy during 3 years period time, and after the 3rd year, you can just do whatever you want. Okay. This is how management gives you. Why they are giving, any idea? The lockup period is there. So, phantom stock arrangements are generally used when a company does not view ownership of the real equity by its executive. Okay, you may not feel the ownership, but after 3 years, he can do whatever he wants. basically they are, what they are doing, they are wanted to retention of the employee, So 3 years he will not move, no. That's how no they designed. So phantom stock options is been given at a fixed price and fixed future date also being given, maybe 2 years, 1 year, 1 to 3 years like that, and then after that he can sell, as per the market rate, he will gain a huge profit, that will be more than his pay, what he's getting, the value, what he's getting from the market, stock market. So stock appreciation rights, cash or stock award determined by the increase in the stock price, your company price, for example, Reliance in India, or you will have many companies, stock, publicly traded companies like KOC, KNPC, K companies, and you have banks, and those stock appreciation rights, cash or stock award determined by increase in the stock price during any time chosen the option period, you can exercise. Okay, so it's just advantage, you buy at a very minimal price, less than the market price, but then you will sell at market price, when the value goes up along with the market value, that time you sell and make a huge profit out of it. Then we have a restricted stock plan. Restricted stock plan, grant of stock at a reduced price with the condition they may not be sold before a specified date. The company will give you number of stocks less than the market price. It's advantage, you'll quickly buy. But the condition is you cannot do the trading within stipulated time. Okay, while the stock options are value only if the stock goes up in the value. The company also doing well, and you as an executive will also perform well to move the company to the progressively upward, so that you will also gain more, right? Win-win situation. A restricted stock grant has a real value even if the stock remains stable, stable, or if it is going to perform well, you will gain, or if it is going to stable also, you will get whatever has been promised, since the stock was essentially a gift. Gift is given, in addition to your benefits. Then performance share unit plans, cash or stock award earned through achieving a specific goals, you have been given a cash variable paid. Okay, this is another one. Then executive benefits often receive additional life insurance. You may get life insurance coverages. It's exclusion from the deductible for health related costs, supplementary pension income exceeding the maximum limits permissible, pension income you may get, or you may get, there's another concept called parachute, golden parachute, or the parachutes. Parachutes, for example, when you are landing, it is smoothly landing. It helps you to avoid the accident, and you smoothly land. Likewise, these clauses are written into the executive contract. When you sign a contract with the executive top level, provide a special payments of key executives who might lose their position or be otherwise disadvantaged if another company took control of the organization through a merger or acquisition. Some changes drastically happen. This company, the guy has to leave, or the merger and acquisition has happened, the company loses identity. So that time they may give a huge sum, lump sum money to the executive as specified in the contract, whatever mentioned in the contract. They agree initially. There's another element called perquisites. Perks are usually privileges for executives, such as club membership they may get, or the company cars, reserved parking spots. Today I noticed, I go to the gym, I noticed there is a Kuwait municipality, the heart of the city, or Salmiya, third block, and they have, all covered parking space. I noticed all in the Arabic written, the governor, the person who's in charge, and 4 or 5 all finance and administration, officers, all finance and administration. I saw 2 or 3, 5 spaces they are allocated, and one for public relation and another one. This I just translated, in Arabic to English, and I found out in Kuwait municipality building. So, this is advantage, you have covered parking space and executive dining rooms, box seats for the professional athletic events, like for example, recently they had in Turkey they had Arsenal, what's a soccer game, and the seats also, you'll be giving, for example, Qatar soccer, the soccer game, you may give seats, such a privilege for the top executives to enjoy, go and attend. And similar, non-cash entitlement